Plaintiff, Elizabeth Pitts, met the defendant in middle school, but she says they went their separate ways in high school. After the defendant started using meth, Elizabeth claims after the defendant sobered up, she relapsed. So Elizabeth reported her to Child Protective Services, and she's suing today for unpaid loans. Defendant Tiffany Hurst admits that she used crystal meth and says despite the fact that she'd been sober for 10 years, she relapsed last year and struggled to quit. Tiffany's upset that Elizabeth called Child Protective Services and says it almost cost her job and her children. So she's countersuing.
Ma'am?
Well, first of all, I want to say I'm a big fan of your show.
Thank you.
And my mom, she loves you. So,
All right. Hi,
Tiffany
Mama.
Oh, she's gonna love that. Tiffany and I, we'd been friends for 14 years. We met in middle school, and then in high school, she dropped out and started using meth, and we kind of separated a little as friends, but she sobered up, had a kid, so she had to sober up. And
How long ago did she sober up?
8 years ago or so.
Good.
Yeah, and then, so she's been doing really, really well. And then, but recently she met a guy. I don't know a lot about him, but I don't know, she's been into trouble again now that she's with him.
Like
I think
what?
she might be doing meth again. They party all the time.
How do you know?
Well, I mean, I've been to her house and she'll always be like, well, let's go get a drink or something like that.
And what would you do?
I would have a drink with her.
Well, you partying with her.
That's true.
I knew where I was going.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
So over the years, the past few years, she's borrowed money from me. And so she's paid me back 2 years in a row. She paid me back free and clear during the tax season. I'd help her by...
Hold on. She actually repaid from her tax refund?
Yeah.
Give
she
her
did.
an award. Give her an award. I swear to you. In all the years we've been on television, which is over a decade, never have we heard of a person repaying their debt when they got their tax return. Never heard of it. You're the first one. I might have to stand up. Well, I see. Maybe it was this last time she didn't. Go ahead.
So the third year we decided to do it. She, I'd send her a check for rent, and she wanted to borrow less money this time so her and her kids could go on a trip.
Let me get to her on the background before we get to this most recent loan you're suing about, ma'am.
We have known each other since middle school. I have once. I did party, I had fun, used crystal, used meth. Crystal is my drug of choice, always has been. I got clean once I got pregnant because it's not my turn, it's my kid's turn. It's not fair to him. I relapsed in October for a couple months.
After how long?
About 10 years.
What happened to cause your relapse?
I did meet a guy for the first time after about 10 years. Went to a party, started smoking weed. It was laced with meth. I got hooked. Simple as that.
You didn't know it was laced with crystal meth?
Or else I wouldn't have done it. I knew better. First time my parents had watched the kids that year, so I was excited, get to be an adult, not just a mom. So, yeah, I got hooked. Nobody knew it. My boyfriend didn't even know, and he lived with me. I hid it until December. He figured it out. Then it's like a bomb hit my life, and everything went everywhere. Tried to quit, couldn't quit. I didn't use as much.
What's your status now?
I'm sober. I went to detox. Did a 360 on my life, and I'm a better, happier person now.
All right, good. All right, tell me about the loan you're suing for.
Okay, well, in March of 2012, I started sending her money like usual for rent or things like that, mostly checks, but sometimes she'd call and say she needed cash. So I sent her that too for the whole year. And then in February of 2013, she admitted to me that she had been using. So I was really upset with her, and I was scared for the kids. I mean, they're there. I mean, who knows if she's really sober, because she had been lying to me about it, hiding it from me. So I did call CPS, and I did say, something's going on there. I don't know if they're sober now or not. And I just didn't know if CPS could even do anything. And they said there was nothing they could do, but I could call the sheriff's office and have them come over for a welfare check. So they did that, and they didn't find anything, so everything was okay with that. But then maybe that made her angry. Maybe that's why she didn't pay me the full $3,700. I don't know. But at the end of February, she gave me a $2,500 cashier's check. And she didn't really tell me why it was only $2,500 until her boyfriend kept calling and saying, it's for rehab, you need to just leave her alone, and we're not going to give you the rest of your money. So.
He just flat out said, we're not going to give her the rest. Why?
Well, not then. But then she said she would pay it back with payments.
Okay, let me hear from you, ma'am.
That's true for the most part. I did give her $2,500. But the night that it all fell apart between us, she kept texting me and calling me and telling me I was a bad mom. I didn't deserve my kids, that she would take them and do better for them. I mean, she caused so much drama between me as a mother and how I felt. The person that I have always relied on for support was gone. So.
Why was she gone?
Because she was upset that I lied to her, that I was using again.
You were gone then.
For the most part, yeah.
And what did she do wrong to you?
She knows that I'm a good mom. That's the one thing I am good at.
Well, if she knew that, why do you think she called?
Fear of them getting hurt and mixed up with the meth and the crystal and all that. I mean, I understood
why. You were addicted to
why.
crystal meth.
I was. I still am, but I'm recovering.
No, but you weren't recovering then.
No, I wasn't.
That's my point. She should have. She was being a friend, calling to make sure your children were all right, living under the roof of a crystal meth addict.
And I agree, and I understand why she did it.
Oh, okay. I thought you had a problem with
However, the way that she went about it was wrong. She could have come to me and talked to me.
What were you going to tell her? I ain't using? Go ahead. Tell me about the loans.
I needed the $1,200 to go to detox.
Why shouldn't you pay her back?
Because I almost lost my job because of the way she did it.
That's your defense today. That's your legal defense. Did you almost or you did?
I almost lost my job. Almost. I could have lost my kids.
And you could have. You could have, would have, should have.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What else is your reason for not paying? It seems like you're reaching now. Spend the money on rehab?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. And $500 for defamation. How does she owe you?
I missed a lot of work because of her running her mouth to my family, my friends, and I could have lost my job, and it could still affect me in the future for the job.
Did she say anything untrue about you to your friends and family?
She said things that she assumed.
Were they untrue? So she should have been giving you drug tests?
They could have.
Because, okay, good enough. Whether you claim you are already clean or not, you're back in recovery. And I believe she had something to do with that recovery because you were fearful that you'd lose your children. And the only way you encountered that fear is with the knowledge that your girlfriend, your good friend, either had called or will call. She was your deterrent. She's probably the reason you went to detox. Judgment for the plaintiff, $1,200. You're a good friend, and your claim is dismissed.
I'm just glad everything's all done, and I really hope you're sober and clean and doing what you're supposed to be doing for your family.
At this point, I don't think you'd believe me either way.
Only time will tell.